that's an exercise that we do. For those of us who are smart, you could probably tell me what numbers we were using, what placement we were in, and the high note that we did, what placement was that? All right, but we'll get to that another time. All right, anyway, how you doing? All right, I want to do something a little different today. Actually, I'm going to put my talk show host voice on. Welcome back again for a vocal class, and this is our third class. And we're going to talk about something that I think is very, very important. And a lot of times in school, even in college, I didn't get none of this information. I had to learn it the hard way. And that's dieting. And it's crazy when you think about it, because if you play football, I ran track and basketball and stuff like that in school, they sit down and they tell you how important dieting is and what you should eat, how you should have simple sugars before meats and so on and so forth. But for singing, they tell us nothing. But guess what? It is so important that you eat the right foods before and after singing. So let's talk about that. Can you give me one food we should not eat before singing?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Give me another.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yogurt.
Yogurt. So acidic, acid. Now, when you say you can't have these things, you should not have them before singing. Like an hour before singing, you should not have these foods. Definitely don't have any chocolate. Chocolate builds up a lot of mucus, right? Next thing you know, you have all this stuff going on in your throat, this junk in your trunk, and you can't even sing properly. This is acid. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how acid really, really hurts those who sing a lot. And maybe for those who have high voices, the acid is bad. And once again, with the yogurt, you have more mucus, right? So tell me something that we can eat. All right, what can we CAN eat before singing?
Bacon.
Bacon. Now she's saying bacon because I don't care. Bacon is just like, who says no to bacon? All right, but some of us might have a problem with bacon because it may cause what we call silent acid reflux or acid reflux. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we love bacon, and bacon does coat the throat with the grease, but you'll know whether or not it bothers you or not. What else?
Dry cereal.
Dry cereal. What does she mean by that? Cereal with no milk. All right? So that way you can still kind of have some cereal for breakfast, whatever the case may be. What else?
Rice.
Rice is good. Bread is good, right? Eggs are fine. There are a lot of things that you can definitely eat. And I'm thinking more about breakfast than lunch and dinner. Regular sandwiches. That's a sandwich. Yes, there's a D in there. You can have a nice sandwich, right? Very good. But leave the hot sauce alone, right? So you want to stay away from things, to add on what they just said. Stay away from orange juice. Stay away from soda, right? No bueno. The acid in soda is crazy. No good for you. Here's something else. Cold water. No good. All right, so your body operates at what temperature? Anybody know? 97? 97 degrees? All right. What about your body? How does your body work?
I don't know.
About 109, 140. Got made you very hot. Let me see. Ooh, you're cold. About 32 degrees. All right, which is great. So freezing is what? Right? 30 below. So here we are. We got some cold weather coming up soon, and it's going to be really, really cold. Right? So here you go. You take this ice water and you throw it on 90-some odd degrees of your body. That your body is nice and warm, and you've been singing, and your vocal cords is like, bam, like nice and hot. And then you say, hey, oh my God, we had a great practice, didn't we? And you grab this ice water and you throw it on there. Not a good mixture. Right? It doesn't help you at all. So throughout the day, even, if you can, we should always drink water at
room temperature.
At room temperature. You need to get used to it. At first, it's kind of tough, like warm water. But if you really want to be serious about this thing of music and singing, then you have to take care of your instrument. And so stay away from the soda. And I'm not saying you never have these things. Just to be smart. If it's a day that you know you're not singing, or you sing that morning, you're not singing that night, then you want to treat yourself to some things, that's fine. But be careful when you go back to singing, all right? So you want to definitely stay away from acidic food that builds up mucus, and it's okay to eat the breads and the starches. And believe it or not, one of the best things for singing, I learned this when I did one of the award shows, and right before you walk on stage, they had this humongous bowl of potato chips. And I was watching artists, they come eating chips, and they go into the stage. And so ever since then, I'll be watching now like, are you eating chips before you sing? Right? And I had to ask questions. What's that all about? I said, hey, well, the grease from the potato chips is one of the best things to coat your voice. Something else to stay away from, right? Is Halls, right? The Halls numb your throat. So when you take a Halls and you got a bad cough, whatever, I get it. You take the Halls because it stops you from coughing. But also, you really can't feel your throat as much. So you kind of like want to stay away from those things. For those of us who have coughs, try to drink more water. A little bit of lemon in your water, or a little tea is fine. A little honey is good. Or lozenges that don't have the Halls type stuff in it. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Menthol?
Menthols, right. Stay away from the menthols is what you don't want to have, right, for singing. Gum is a no-no, right? Why is gum a no-no? Anybody know?
Choking.
Yes. You're singing, right? Next thing you know, you're choking, right? So stay away from gum, all right? So that's just a little bit of things that we talk about in terms of dieting and stuff that is really, really good for you. Have you guys ever had an experience like where you eaten something that you probably shouldn't have eaten and it affected your singing? Any of you? Yeah, like what?
Right. So I eat a lot of pizza, like a lot. It's like my favorite lunch to get. So every time I try to sing, I try not to eat pizza because I do notice that it causes a lot of phlegm in my throat, and I'm constantly having to spit out phlegm before I'm singing because that comes up as you try to sing. So I noticed if I gotta stay away from that before singing. Right,
and that phlegm she's talking about is really, believe it or not, it's probably acid. And if you're not, it could be acid reflux, right? Because when you eat food, it goes on your esophagus and there's acid in your stomach that helps. But when you're constantly singing, you're singing from your diaphragm that we talk about. You're singing, and next thing you know, you always got this thing going on, and you just ate pizza, so the acid's coming up. And sometimes, even at night, I had a huge problem. At one point in time, I had a bad habit, and I would eat late at night and lay down, and I developed acid reflux, and all it did was chewed up my vocal cords, and it was a very bad thing. So that's another thing, guys. So don't eat late at night. Acid reflux and silent reflux is a serious thing for singers. Anything else?
Cold water. I know in the summer times when we have shows early in the morning, they will try to be nice and give us cold water, and then we throw it on our vocal cords, and then it's like, why did I do that?
Right.
So we try to ask for room temperature water.
Right, room temperature water is what we really want. All right. I hope you guys learned something. I don't know if you want to share something. All right, she says no. She's okay. She does all of the right things when it comes to eating and drinking. That's why she's so amazing. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Take this very seriously. Dieting is important, all right? For those of us who are taking the test, click that PDF on the bottom and see how well you did, how much you listened, and your listening skills, and how much you learned. All right, so this is our third vocal class. This is about dieting, so awesome. A lot more to come. Thank you guys. Ciao.